Hello, my name is David Martin. I'm a data center specialist with Cisco Systems. Today I'd like to talk to you about the evolution of our data center network management software from Nexus Dashboard to Nexus Cloud. Joining me today is Lee McChesney, the data center lead from one of our strongest data center partners, NetSync. Thank you for joining me, Lee.
Thanks for having me, Dave. You know, we have a lot of customers that are dealing with just this ever-increasing application problem that they're dealing with, where they're deploying applications across their own data centers, in the cloud, across multiple clouds. It seems like the pace at which they're being asked to deploy these things is increasing exponentially. And you know, they're really having a problem with trying to make sure that all these things are able to connect and talk to each other and do it in a secure way. I'm hoping that we can delve into how Nexus Dashboard, Nexus Cloud can help address some of these issues for our customers.
Absolutely. And the problems that your customers are running into are not dissimilar from what the entire environment is running into. We've put a couple of statistics up that I think demonstrate that we're running into the fact that the journey to cloud is not beginning, it's happening right now. 82% of our customers are already operating in a hybrid cloud world. 58% are actively moving workloads from on-premise to cloud environments and back. We also recognize that there are entirely new careabouts, that people are looking at their network in entirely different ways. Things from appreciating total cost of ownership versus initial cost of sale, and specifically looking at things like sustainability and energy compliance, and being able to report on exactly how efficient individual workloads are. That's creating unparalleled complexities that our customers really didn't have to deal with even just a few years ago. All of these solutions are focused around making this easier to work with, economical, and sustainable. We also need to be able to handle all of the new reporting mechanisms that all of your customers are going to want while they're going through all of these different changes. As we address customer needs, I think it's important that we take a look at all of the new operating models. Cloud isn't just a destination. It's a place where your application workloads and data are going to reside. So the data center is anything but centralized anymore. I know a lot of your customers probably have traditional on-prem data centers, but they also are probably looking at co-location, as well as public and hybrid cloud environments, as well as even software as a service extensions of those same applications.
Absolutely.
All of that requires an entirely new approach to data center network management.
So how does Cisco help address that? I mean, when I think of Cisco, I think of traditional data center networks, traditional data centers, getting packets to flow within the boundaries of my traditional environment. How are you addressing how we're getting into the cloud and how we manage those sorts of new environments?
It's an excellent question. I'd say the most common question I get is Cisco afraid of customers making a migration to the cloud? Anything could be further from the truth. Cisco is the company that people have relied upon for decades to move zeros and ones around. Now we're having even more reliance upon interconnectivity in cloud operating environments. I would say we're the company that's best able to address those needs. But beyond the simple motion, we need to have new ways to approach new problems. What we want to do is introduce Nexus Cloud. Nexus Cloud is the evolution of what we've done with our Nexus portfolio, specifically with Nexus Dashboard. The two are going to operate simultaneously because just like what we did with our compute management with UCS Manager and Intersight, we're going to start to migrate our data center network management to a cloud-based model. As you've seen with Intersight, there's a lot of advantages to this. I know that you've helped a number of customers with Intersight deployments. When you adopt a cloud-based management system, don't you see that the rollouts of new features and new functionality are instantly available rather than having to find windows for upgradability?
Yeah, one of the best things that we've seen from our customers is just the ability to have those new features just show up without having to do any maintenance any upgrade cycles, not having to go submit change controls to implement a new feature so that you can roll out a new service to the organization. It's just there.
The only way that private cloud is going to be able to keep up with public cloud is if we create environments that are more cloud-like and then introduce those same operational efficiencies that you have in a cloud operating environment. That being said, Nexus Dashboard isn't immediately going to go away. Both of these products are going to exist in tandem, and the value that Nexus Cloud is going to immediately bring is going to be more visualization, more reporting, a lot of the newer aspects of the things, again, like TCO and sustainability, are going to be introduced first and more prevalent in Nexus Cloud, while Nexus Dashboard focuses on the day-to-day, day zero, day one, day two operation of your data center network. We wanted to post this up here to show that where we're at today is a combination route to market with both of these products, but before the end of this calendar year, we're going to be close to feature parity at being able to operate in both environments. I think it's also important to note that we're supporting Cisco Kubernetes Operator, which extends our operational network visibility past the virtual machine and all the way down to the container level. And as you've got customers that are going to start to do development from macro apps into micro apps, as they start to embrace containerization, this is going to be a very important step as they're journey to cloud.
That's definitely something that our customers are asking for. Once we move into that new evolution of how applications are deployed in a containerized environment, we start to lose some of the visibility that we're so used to on a traditional network. And so having the ability to pull in that information and gain that visibility around the customer's Kubernetes environments is great.
We also want to make sure that we talk about sustainability. Everyone's going to come to this in their own way and in their own time, but as we start to move to faster and faster speeds, servers that are going to have CPUs that might have as much as a 350 watt power draw, the economics of the facilities costs, specifically with regard to cost per workload, is going to become more and more important. And we want to make sure that we're offering that sort of visibility for customers that are looking for it. And I know that we were only going to talk about software today, but I have to talk about hardware for just a little bit. So,
all right, you got 60 seconds on the clock.
60
Ready?
seconds it
Go.
is. All right. We are introducing a radically new hardware refresh within the entire Nexus 9K line. The reason for this is we're at an inflection point with the latest release of servers. The latest servers are going to ship with 100 gig data center Ethernet capability. Once you start buying servers that can connect at 100 gig, you're going to want your infrastructure to be able to support it. So as you make the determination on when and how you're going to be purchasing the latest generation of servers, the upgrades to your data center infrastructure, I think, have to follow. With our traditional Nexus 9300 and 9400, we'll have fixed and modular solutions for direct server connections, and with the 9800 series core switch, we'll be prepared to be able to handle 400 and 800 gig well into the future. We'll also be shipping fiber channel switches, which we don't get to talk about very often, but the introduction of 64 gig fiber channel is also driving a huge upgrade at this particular point in time. I hope I got us in under that piece, but the reason to bring it up is if you're going to be doing a heavy lift with regard to hardware, it's going to drive the movement to software. This couldn't be a better opportunity to start really taking a look at some of the new advantages of Nexus Cloud.
So Dave, I know that we're talking primarily about data center networking, but in a lot of cases, we see network upgrades that go across not just the data center, but also the campus. Are there ways that we can leverage Nexus Dashboard and the campus network to help ease that management of both networks?
It's a great question, Lee, and it definitely leads into the next real innovation with Nexus management. As we're migrating to the cloud, we're opening up APIs that are going to enable us the ability to interact with other software applications, including other software applications from other architectures, specifically campus. If you're doing a data center network upgrade, there's a pretty good chance you might be doing a campus network upgrade. So how are we going to integrate with our DNA counterparts on the campus side? We've got Nexus Dashboard Data Broker, which gives us the opportunity to allow Nexus Dashboard and Nexus Cloud to directly integrate with DNA and to allow configuration to be able to transport between those two living, breathing applications. You still need DNA for campus-based management of traditional Ethernet, and you still need Nexus for management of Nexus and data center Ethernet environments, but these are no longer two applications residing in different silos. They're now connected via the back end.
Excellent. That's great to hear.
This is a good description of how the Nexus Dashboard Data Broker connects everything into a seamless, integrated platform with our DNAC in the campus. It's probably not the only integration point. We talked about Intersight and how Nexus Cloud is following a similar cloud-based adoption to what we did in our compute management. We're not leaving that behind either.
Yeah, we do see network and compute oftentimes go together. Sometimes it's the compute that requires better network connectivity, 100 gig NICs.
And if we refer back to my very quick minute on hardware, the migration to new server purchases that are going to be connecting at 100 gig might be the compelling event that's actually moving all of this forward. Our configuration and the backend with Intersight is going to be even more tightly coupled. Nexus Cloud operates inside of Intersight as an application inside of that construct. So it's not just communicating via that API. You can operate Nexus configuration inside of the Intersight piece, so you don't even have to have separate consoles for different management applications.
Excellent.
So we talked about being on a journey. Why don't I give some time frames so everyone understands exactly where we're at on this journey right now? So Nexus Cloud is available today. We have the availability to give lots of reporting and lots of visibility into things that you aren't going to get from Nexus Dashboard, and that's by design. What we don't have today is complete feature parity between both of these at a configuration level. So Nexus Dashboard and Nexus Cloud are going to cooperate for a reasonable period of time. Okay. By the second quarter of this calendar year, we're going to open this up to not just traditional ACI environments, but we'll also open that up to legacy Nexus OS configurations, and we'll start to support multiple domains across multi-cloud management. By the end of this calendar year, we're going to support native configuration of even management inside of public, private, and hybrid clouds, all from a single interface.
That's great. That's really impressive to see how it's all coming together, and how as we are deploying applications across a multi-cloud environment, on-prem, in AWS or GCP or Azure, and at a rapid pace, that we have the ability to enable our network engineers to be able to respond to that, to keep up, and to be able to manage it all from one interface.
The one thing I'd like to conclude with is that as you're going on this journey, we need partners like NetSync that have the experience and the staff to be able to go out with you and hold your hand through this, because getting from legacy data center to third generation fully embraced cloud is a journey, but it's a journey that at the end
is going to give you the capability to be able to keep up with the pace of modern distributed data centers.
Absolutely, and we've had the opportunity to have these conversations and go through this journey with our customers, and I really appreciate you having me here to talk about this today.
Thank you, Lee.